Hey kid, I've got no eyes and I'm melting.
You ready to talk some movies, Brennan?
Yeah, okay.
Well, let's go! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth!
Hi, welcome to the Corrupted Youth Podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Brennan, and today we're going to be watching a movie about a librarian that just wants to get that book returned. It's overdue.
We're a father and son duo that explores the latest blockbusters, classic genre films, and the schlockiest of golden age VHS rental store flicks in spoiler-heavy fashion.
Like, seriously, he's going to start getting charged soon. Like, he's going to show up and be like, yeah, you owe us, 32 cents for that overdue book.
It was my birthday month, and I got to pick any movie I wanted, and for some reason I picked The Devil's Rain. But we can get into those details later, because first up, we had a winner.
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah.
a contest.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody descrambled the 2 episodes ago for our Color Out of Space episode. Check it out. But in the beginning, our little Hey Kid intro was reversed in segments and broken up, kind of funny. But yeah, friend of the show and guest at one point in time, Jeremy Schleif, aka Schmed, figured it out, won himself a Corrupted Youth t-shirt of his choice.
Congratulations. We're all proud of you.
But no, I mean, you said whoever did it would just be a loser.
Schmidt, I'm sorry.
Well, we're not going to ridicule him now. We promised ridicule. You smell weird.
You like nerdy things. Got him.
Your squads on Transformers Earth Wars are poop.
Oh. Love up your Megatron, loser. No, the Beast Wars Megatron, not G1 Megatron.
Oh, I hear he likes to play Cutthroat. So yeah, The Devil's Rain. How about that trailer? Let's go!
There have been films about earthquakes, airplane disasters, and blazing infernos. But there has never been anything like The Devil's Rain. Space.
That wasn't your father.
What's his face? Mother? Mother! Come back! Damn you!
They had no faces.
The Devil's Reign. The 300-year search for the power to damn mankind is over.
Fools!
And the towering terror of the devil on Earth is now unleashed.
Burn!
The Devil's Reign. Hundreds of souls held captive in an eternity of hell.
Seize him!
Possessed by the devil.
You, my son, have defiled all that is holy.
Mother, my God, my God!
They become his worshippers and his demons. Devil's Reign, starring Academy Award winner Ernest Borgnine, Eddie Albert, William Shatner, Keenan Wynn, and Ida Lupino as Mrs. Preston, and with the special participation of Anton LaVey, High Priest of the Church of Satan. The Devil's Reign. Conceived by the producer of A Man Called Horse. Created by the masters of magic of Planet of the Apes. Together, they bring you a melting hell on Earth. And absolutely the most incredible, unforgettable ending of any motion picture ever. Heaven help us all when the devils reign.
Wow, what a stormy day.
That trailer does have a lot of the cool visuals in it.
So that kind of stinks because nobody just watched it. They just listened to it.
That is true. But if you're not going to watch the movie, at least watch the trailer, which will definitely make you want to watch the movie. You'll be like, wow, this movie looks bananas.
A lot of people melting.
Yeah, so first time viewing, Brennan?
Yep.
First time viewing for you. I originally saw it when Joe Bob Briggs had it on Monster Vision, and honestly, I'd never heard of it, and I just fell in love with it, and I was like, wow, this movie's so crazy and bonkers and awesome. And clearly, I must have been drinking a lot when I saw that. But I've watched it a few times since, over the years, and I was like, oh, I just could not wait to get you to watch this. I was just waiting for the right time, right opportunity. And man, do I have opinions now.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those, like, it's really cool when you're watching it by yourself. But when you have somebody else, when you make somebody else watch it, it becomes a whole different experience.
Yeah. I feel like watching a movie with somebody, you can like joke more about it. Like I just recently watched a movie called The Graveyard of Fireflies, which was an anime movie about World War II and like victims of war. And it was so sad. It was so unbelievably sad. But you watch it with a friend, you know, it doesn't. It was just funny. We just joked around. I mean, yeah, I cried at the end, but you know, I feel like that's what it was for this movie too.
I mean, okay, so basically, like, this is literally a cult movie.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word. It's about cults, and it has a cult following, because this movie did not do well when it was released.
That is not surprising.
Totally not surprising. Which is kind of bonkers, because this movie really has an awesome cast.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like, there are some really good actors in this movie. Yeah, I guess I should bring up the IMDb info.
Why do you have so many tabs of Kevin Hart?
He's a handsome man.
No, there's like 6. No, 7. Kevin Hart hot. Kevin Hart no shirt on, dad.
This one's my favorite here. Kevin Hart bubble bath. Okay, so The Devil's Reign from 1975. Well, that's another reason why I picked this, because it was the year I was born.
Mm-hmm.
It's directed by Robert Fust, who also did the abominable Dr. Phibes movies, both of them.
It's over my head.
Vincent Price. It's kind of like a weird. Yeah, they're pretty wacky and fun. Like, he just sets up these weird elaborate traps and kills people.
Oh, that actually does sound pretty fun.
There's more to it than that. He's got like an audio jack that he has to like plug into his neck and stuff.
Of course.
I mean, why not? Maybe we'll cover those at some point, because those movies are pretty interesting. And this movie pretty much ruined this guy's career.
Nice.
He did not really. I think he made maybe one more movie. Otherwise, he just did TV stuff. Because, I mean, honestly, like, the direction of this movie is not bad.
Oh, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. And it's visually interesting.
Yeah.
Writing credits go to Gabe Esso, James Ashton, Gerald Hotman. Probably could have used another one.
One less, maybe? More
Something.
time.
The cast consists of Ernest Borgnine, Eddie Albert, Ida Lupino, William Shatner, Keenan Wynn, Tom Skerritt, Joan Prather, we'll throw in Woody Chambliss, and also John Travolta's first movie.
What?
You wouldn't know he was in it.
It's just a cultist, I'm guessing?
Yeah, but he like gets credit in the opening credits, even. So there you have it. Oh, apparently, this is like a fun fact. One of the actresses gave John Travolta a copy of Dianetics while on set for this movie. And because he's a big Scientologist, that's like the Scientology book.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where it all began.
Oh, God.
What another level of cultism
Oh.
we can just sprinkle on this. Oh.
No, we are not alien souls in a volcano that blew up from nukes. Is that what they believe? I know it's something weird like
Yeah,
that.
there's like an alien in it, and I don't know, it's all messed up. Watch the episode of South Park about it. They explain it pretty well. So the description on here says, a Satanist cult leader is burnt alive by the local church. He vows to come back to hunt down and enslave every descendant of his congregation by the power of the book of blood contracts in which they sold their souls to the devil. That right there, we're out. Thank you. We're done.
Yeah.
That actually, like, to read that makes the movie make more sense, because this movie just really kind of breaks it all up and not like creating a mystery.
Yeah.
It's more just well, what is this?
Yeah.
What is that? Why is this happening? It's pretty incoherent.
If you give me the answer before I know the question, you have to do that right.
You know what? That's the best way to describe it.
Because they did it wrong. So it's just like you have the answer and you have the question, but you never put those two together.
Right. So if you imagine that there's 3 pieces to this puzzle, right? One is direction, writing, and acting. One of those just did not work out. And it's got to be the writing. I mean, it could be because apparently they had an 8-week shooting schedule and 2 weeks got knocked off of it. And that might explain things. But
6 weeks. That's like a month.
plenty of people do it.
I mean, yeah.
And they make very coherent movies, just cranking them out.
The movie Godzilla Raids Again was made in 2 months. The whole thing, 2 months. So it's possible,
Yeah.
but it doesn't help.
No. Especially when you have something where you could have more to it. And it kind of shows in this movie, because I'm just going to say right away that there's a lot of padding in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where they could have fleshed out more story stuff, but it's a whole lot of, there's like a couple driving scenes and people mucking about, just walking around stuff that sometimes that's okay.
If you build suspense.
But there's literally people like driving and not talking to each other. They're
Just staring.
in a car.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do something.
Let's, just give some exposition there or something. But all right. I'm not even sure if I can do like a proper rundown on this.
I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah. It starts off pretty banging though.
Yeah, no, the opening,
Because
great opening.
rainstorm in the desert. I'm not quite sure where this is supposed to take place. It's kind of arid.
Yeah.
So maybe like a Texas or something, or
Yeah.
somewhere southwest. I'm just going to leave it at that. And it starts off, you get like William Shatner's at home. He was out looking for his dad. The Shat's character's name is Mark Preston. And rainstorm's happening, and it's like, oh, hey, look, his dad's truck got here. Don't worry, Mom. And he goes outside just to find his dad eyeless and talking crazy about the book and all this other stuff and Corbus. And you're like, what is going on? And then his dad just melts into like waxy goo.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, all right, okay,
Well,
we're just starting off here.
I really like the lack of like exposition, let's learn about these characters.
It's fine to start it off because it's instantly engaging.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, what is all this about? So they've got like this book, this big old book, and it's hidden underneath the floor in their living room or whatever. And his mom's talking like, oh, you got to have this magic amulet for protection. Like you have to wear it at all times. So it's like, okay, important book, amulet. You could maybe know more about the book now, but that's okay.
There's an evil guy named Corbus. He wants the book. He probably shouldn't have that book.
Yeah.
Somehow, the family is tied in. They have a history. They kind of know what's going on.
Question with this household though, that because there's this old guy John there, who sounds like an old timey prospector.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, shoot, and I mean, clearly there must have been like a lot of westerns. I did not look up his history, but There's a lot of Western actors in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he their butler? Is he just hanging out?
Yeah.
We couldn't figure that
Old
out.
man Jenkins just chilling around.
Just whining all the time.
Yeah. Like, John, go home.
Yeah, they're always leaving him at the house too. Like, we're gonna go off and do something. You stay here and watch the house with the book. Why are you leaving this old codger in charge of the book?
Yeah.
I feel bad for him because he gets it kind of bad too.
Yeah.
Mark heads off to meet Corbus in this ghost town. Just
But real quick, literally the second he leaves, Corbus attacks the house. He walks outside and is about to get into like his car, and there's just screaming. It's like, oh wow.
Lights are going off. They never find the book though.
Yeah.
But they took his mom and they strung poor John up.
Yeah.
He's just all like, oh man,
They didn't have faces.
which that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't
'cause
make sense either.
Everybody had faces.
I was looking forward to seeing some people without faces.
Sorry.
Never got it.
They don't have eyes, but they do have faces.
They don't have like eyeballs either. Like it's not like,
It's supposed to be empty sockets.
yeah.
But you watch like a higher definition version of it,
It just
and it just looks kind of weird.
it does look pretty weird.
But yeah, you kind of have to let that go. It's like the strings in War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see him. What are you gonna do? So he goes to meet Corvus, and Corvus is just hanging out in this town, just dressed like a normal guy, but you don't know it's him at first. And Corvus is played by Ernest Borgnine, and he's hamming it up in this movie.
He's great.
He seems to be just digging this role, but apparently he didn't get paid for this.
What?
He said that he didn't get paid for it, and the movie was funded by mafia money.
Oh.
And he said that too many weird things happened during the filming that he would never be in a movie about this subject matter ever again.
Oh my.
So yeah,
He should have gotten paid. He did a great job.
he won an Oscar, not for this movie.
Well, yeah, I was about to say.
But yeah, he's an award-winning actor. So yeah, Mark and Corbus decide that they're going to have a faith-off. That's what they call it. I know that's cheesy, but that's the way I wrote it in my notes. And because Corbus is like, hey, listen, my faith versus your faith. If you come in my spooky New England church
Oh yeah.
that just happens to be here in this ghost town in the desert, you come in here, you check it out, but if you leave unfazed by it, you win. And, like Mark's like, I want my parents back, and you don't get the book, but you can have the book if you beat me. Seems like a pretty fair shake. And he goes in, and
Cracks instantly.
he is not having a good time in there because, you got all your robed figures with their no eyes and stuff, chanting or whatever they're doing, all this kind of Satan-y type stuff. Yeah, actually, Anton LaVey, who was the high priest of the Satanic Church, was not only a consultant on this movie, but also in the movie. Probably should have brought that up earlier, but
He probably digged it. He's like, yeah. Walking around set, you guys did a good job on this one.
just hanging out in his goatee.
Yeah.
So I don't know the accuracy to all this stuff, but it's definitely movie fun.
It's played up for sure.
Yeah. So Mark has a hard time with it, makes it through the sermon or whatever, decides to leave. And then Corvus is like, oh, wait, like, hey, we're not done here or whatever. But Mark's got that amulet on, so he was protected by any of the evil anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And Corvus comes up with this cool idea of turning it making Mark think that it's a snake. So he freaks out and throws it off. And then he doesn't have the amulet anymore. So you can mark off amulet on your list of things that will never get brought up again.
Yeah.
And then he's captured by the cultists. And then they just basically torture him after that.
Mhm.
Have a fun time with him. So that's where this movie then shifts again. So you're following the story and it seems like, oh,
You got an understanding. Okay.
this is our hero.
Yep.
And then so then everything changes and it shifts gears at a university, and they're two doctor guys and they're gonna demonstrate this lady's ESP because apparently they found a way to enhance ESP in people,
Yeah.
which
Sure.
this whole factor doesn't really play much into it.
No.
But she's laying there. She has like a couple of weird visions of like stuff later in the movie.
Which I liked.
Yeah, which was kind of cool. And she like totally flips out.
This needs to be rewritten. You guys can't go through this. Rewrite it.
One of the doctors gets a message, and it turns out he's Mark's brother, Tom. And then Eddie Albert plays the other doctor. The woman is, I think her name's Julie. Oh, Dr. Sam. That's who Eddie Albert plays. And so it's like, oh, now we've got these three people, and they're all going to go and find out what's going on with their family.
Yeah.
Right?
I was excited to see this dynamic, too. You got Psychic Girl, the brother, and then, like, a doctor.
Yeah. He's like a man of science.
Yeah. Amazing.
But apparently he got a different flight because he doesn't even show up until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's just Julie and Tom, and they meet like the world's worst sheriff, too. This guy is just, yeah, I'm not doing anything.
Well, he had to clean up after the storm, but, like, we never see any of that, so it's kind of hard to, like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to us. Like, maybe if they'd, like, driven through the town, they're like, wow, that storm really messed everything up. You know, buildings collapse. But no, the sheriff's just, I gotta go sweep the fridge, and drives away.
Sweep the fridge. Let's just take a little break and listen to a podcast that we love. And the dongles should too.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer, Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy.
Kilmore Crites.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Dave.
I have the weirdest boner.
And Pete.
IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I that up. Let me try that again.
As we drag Kathleen,
Hear me.
kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
Oh, according to my handwritten notes here, I wrote down Isla's mom makeout sesh.
Yeah.
That must be when they're torturing Shatner.
That was.
Corbus makes it like some lady who kisses him, and then it ends up being his mom.
It's like Lilith, the god of lust or something, and turns out to be his mom. Awkward.
Oh, man. Tom, take forever to get to this town. And then once they get to this ghost town, I don't know, it's almost like a real-time event of like watching them check out everything. But there's like somebody scuttering around a little bit, kind of leading them on. And it ends up in like the weirdest, most awkward fight on some stairs I've ever seen.
Yeah. And then, Julie like stares into his eyes and then just sees the backstory.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So she gets the entire flashback, which this flashback really kind of does not help.
No, it doesn't.
But I will say this. It's that time of year. And pilgrims, so...
Thanksgiving movie?
Yeah. I would say that this qualifies as a Thanksgiving movie.
Hear that? Watch The Devil's Reign with your family.
That's right. Come on, kids, gather around. We're going to watch The Devil's Reign. It's about Thanksgiving.
It's short, too.
It is short. It's 125 minutes.
Something like that.
Or hour 25 minutes, I mean.
Yeah.
And if you took out all the padding, like if you just kind of fast forward.
3 minutes.
If you see somebody driving, just fast forward until they like get somewhere. Probably an hour or 10.
Yeah.
So what I can surmise from the flashback is Corbus was around in the Pilgrim days, which explains the New England church. And he's a satanic cult leader there. But then William Shatner is playing his friend who was in the cult.
Yeah.
Like another cult.
Playing Mark's actual relative.
Yes. With a different last name, which I kind of appreciated. Because
Yeah.
usually they always just give people the same last name.
Yeah, that will change.
And apparently he betrayed Corbus or something.
Yeah.
So they just kind of burn Corbus at the stake. But he's all about it. He's, go ahead, do it. This is great.
Yeah, it's kind of like Obi-Wan. Like, you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
Yeah, so he's just loving it. They make it seem it's other people who are not into Satan who go against him. but they also kind of make it, is it just some people? It's never really fleshed out enough.
Yeah, I thought at first when I saw William Shatner, I thought that it was going to be in some weird way that Mark is almost like the same person. Like
Yeah.
he keeps on being like reborn or something like that, and they're just destined to always duke it out.
That's what I was kind of thinking, but
Which would have been interesting.
one line.
Yeah.
You could have just said that. We're just constantly being reborn. But basically, Corbus is just, I'm going to go after all your family members until I get the book, which they don't explain it at the time, but I'll just explain it here because it'll help make everything more sensible.
It won't help.
So apparently, he has all the souls from all his followers, but he can't deliver them to Satan unless he has the book, which they sign their names in blood. And apparently, you get one whole page for it, too. Just write your name really big. All right, you get a page, you get a page.
Draw some stick figures on it.
You get a page. Just write your name.
A lot of artistic freedom.
Try to take up the entire page when you write your name in this book.
Yeah, you gotta use up your space.
So apparently he must have been really close to achieving his goal when he was initially killed. So yeah, he spends the next 300 years or whatever trying to get this book back. He must be really lousy at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's all that hard.
No.
I mean, I guess maybe if the amulet's by it, he doesn't know where it is, but he knows where these families are. He's got it. It seems like he's got it.
Send your
sorted out.
followers. They all have no eyes, and they'll do whatever you say.
Yeah.
Raid the house, tear it down, literally rip up the floorboards. You'd find it that way.
And what are these followers anyway? They become like these minions of him, but they're not living people anymore.
Because their souls are gone.
He had some ceremony where he put like the little wax guy.
Yeah.
And the wax guy gets burned, so I don't know, they just turn into like waxy people then. Whenever they get injured or anything, they just kind of ooze what looks like wax.
So strange. John and Julie, they sneak around. Julie gets caught. John goes to save her.
Tom,
John.
generic man name.
They save Julie, surprise. They throw the sheriff into a pit of combustion. The doctor shows up, tries tricking Corbus. It doesn't work. No one's good at anything. No one can just be quiet for a second. Let my mind be at ease. They smash the TV to hell, and everybody melts.
So what is the TV to hell?
It is the Devil's Reign, which is a CRT TV they put into...
A giant Fabergé egg.
Yes, where it contains the souls that Corbus takes, and it's all rainy there.
You also missed an important bit, though, where Corbus also turns into a goatman.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty cool
It's
makeup.
pretty cool, yeah.
Because
The
the makeup was done by the people who did the makeup for Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, so you would know that if you actually listened to the trailer, because they mentioned that in the trailer.
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't.
I don't know if you've ever seen any of these trailers.
I think you've shown me, like, one.
Yeah, you just kind of summed up the rest of the movie. They kept the Devil's Reign in this pit, the combustion pit as you call it.
Yeah.
Because if anybody falls in there, they apparently explode.
Yeah.
But it's totally safe to keep these souls in a magic TV egg in there. But inside, like, when you see the souls in the egg, it's like always raining. And it's just people like, let us out. Nobody is really useful in this movie whatsoever.
No.
The fact that they left the book on the stage next to the combustion pit, like they just left the book there and they're like, let's get out of here. And then Corbus is like, hey, I got the book.
It wasn't that hard. It took him 300 years, and he gets it because they just forgot it.
All these people are so inept. I don't even know who the protagonist is supposed to be. Is it Tom? Was it Mark? Is it Dr. Sam who just shows up at the end?
Do you remember when they bring out Julie on like that stage, and the doctor's like, hey, be quiet, like we can, and Tom's like, just jumps down and just gets swarmed by followers like an idiot.
I did like that they at least changed up. They added an additional location before this final conflict where Tom had snuck off and just somehow got a robe.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been interesting to have in the story.
Maybe he got it from the guy that they beat up.
Possible. But yeah, they just had a whole nother location where they were doing Satan stuff outside.
Yeah.
Which was kind of convenient, I guess.
Yeah, that part was cool.
That's where he turned into the Goatman first.
Yeah, that part was actually pretty cool. I think it's confusing though because one of the followers, when he sees him, starts like yelling and stuff and like pointing at him. They don't usually do that.
So how the egg actually gets broken too, the Devil's Reign, is it was broken by Mark because they pleaded with him to do it. He somehow broke the spell, but I thought his soul was gone. It just makes it even more confusing. If you're confused listening to us try to figure this out.
Yeah. Imagine watching the movie.
Yeah. Kind of a hot mess.
Yeah. And then everybody melts into a hot mess.
Yeah. The end melt scene is
so cool.
And it's like one of those things where, is this going on too long?
Yeah.
And then it becomes no, because this is the most interesting thing to happen in the movie.
It is the coolest part.
That is my favorite scene.
Yeah.
How can it not be? Mm-hmm. What else do you have?
Not to say there aren't like cool things in the movie. I think maybe if you watch this movie muted, that way you don't have to worry about the plot. It would look confusing for sure. Just be like, oh, there's something about a book. I don't know. But like all the visuals and stuff in this, and
yeah, visually it's
shooting people and wax spilling out and Satan stuff, like that's pretty cool.
Eyeless people.
Yeah, people melting. Goat Man, that's super cool. Pit of combustion. Love the pit of combustion.
More movies with pits of combustion.
I agree.
Like just knock somebody in, boom, they just explode.
They just explode. That's scary. I do like how they never showed what's down there.
No, they never did.
Which just makes me wonder, what is down there?
But yeah, after the melt party happens, Tom and Julie are like, wow, that was crazy. Glad we got away. But then the whole church explodes.
Cool explosion.
That was a cool explosion. They blew up that building.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty decent explosion. I liked it. Oh, it's all over. Julie, let's hug. And then as they hug, it's kind of fun how they did it.
Yeah.
But you could totally tell that how they just swap out Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah.
For the actress who plays Julie.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun. And then he's just hugging Corbus.
Yeah. He starts laughing.
So he wins.
Somehow,
not really explained.
Never explained.
And then Julie is trapped in a new
Devil's Reign.
Reign.
It is the Devil's Reign, or it doesn't make any sense.
None of it makes sense.
Also, like, what is Corbus necessarily doing that's super wrong? Yeah, he turned people into, like, weird eyeless people, but it's like a handful. He's not, like, gonna take over the world.
It does not seem like that was his goal. He just wanted more power in hell, apparently.
Yeah.
He didn't really say, like, I'm taking over the world at any point.
Yeah.
It wasn't an end of the world scenario. He just needed to cash in those souls to get more power in hell, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's about, I suppose. I don't know. It's not really clear.
There's a leaderboard.
So yeah, about these makeup effects too. Here's a fun fact for you. That for the eyeless Shatner, the life cast that they took of him to make the prosthetic, they used that life cast to make William Shatner masks.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that's why if you watch it, he kind of looks like Michael Myers in it.
Yeah.
When he's eyeless, because they've used that one of those masks for the Michael Myers mask.
I wonder what he thinks about that. About them using like his mask.
I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's like the most famous thing to come out of this movie.
Yeah.
So without the Devil's Reign, Michael Myers wouldn't be so iconic in Halloween.
Yeah, and probably wouldn't have like exploded as much unless you threw him in the pit of combustion.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the Devil's Reign. We already said that we love the melt. That takes care of our favorite scene, unless you disagree with the melt.
How could I?
Saying the word movie to describe your rating of this, and would you recommend?
It's a movie.
I agree. It's a movie.
I mean, there are interesting bits to it. I think William Shatner's acting in it is really good. When he's normal, I guess that is. When he's just Mark. When he's like saying guys, whatever.
He gets tortured well.
Yeah, he does. I think the acting as a whole is really good in it. I think the special effects are really fun. I think its biggest draw is its runtime. It's pretty short. Throw it on. I'd say watch it with like some friends, I guess. And if it's easy to do, just fast forward through some of the boring bits.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say my memories of this far exceed the actual outcome of the movie, where I think about it and I think, oh yeah, because you're just thinking of the fun bits.
Yeah.
You don't think of the boring bits. I have to say it's a light recommend for me.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
It's not going to appeal to everybody because honestly, it's dull as a whole. This movie's super dull. There's so much padding in it. People mucking about doing nothing. I feel I wasted my whole, I could pick any movie because it's my birthday month.
Yeah.
I've spoiled it.
You could have picked the 2005 Hulk movie.
Ew. Why would I do that? Well, I suppose we should just kind of wrap this up then.
You could have picked Terminator 3.
No.
Come
Don't
on.
want to talk about Terminator 3. We've done enough third movies that are just not good and bad
Alien
sequels.
3?
Do not even think about it. Oh man, it's your month next month.
I'm not gonna pick Alien. I don't know. Watching Alien 3. I watched that movie once and that was enough.
We're actually getting close to, we'll be starting our 4th year in January.
Wow.
We may not like our early episodes, but if you want to hear like squeaky voice Brennan, take a trip back in time. Yeah, we started in 2017.
Huh. Fly times when you're funning have.
So I don't know. I was thinking maybe our 4th year, we'll get a couple more guests on. Got some people of interest. So maybe when it comes my month, I'll throw on some special guests. It'll be kind of fun.
We're gonna get Gandhi,
We're bringing Gandhi back,
Gary Oldman,
the Where's the Beef lady. We're reanimating her corpse.
Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark in the Dongle Den.
All right. So if you have any interest in supporting the show, feel free to visit the link for our TeePublic store and check out the Corrupted Youth merch there. Get a loved one something stupid for Christmas because you don't like them. You can always contact us at our email, corruptedyouthpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Come visit us in the Dongle Den. Share your memes.
Yeah.
That's on Facebook.
Marky Mark's there. We got Marky Mark in the Dongle Den.
Big thank you to all our listeners, the Dongles, and to our fellow podcasters for their support.
Marky Mark workout tape in the Dongle Den.
Hang in there, Dongles.
Corrupted youth. Corrupted youth. Corrupted youth. Corrupted youth.
Why am I doing this? Why am I here?